let's see if this race gets going. And it's lights out and away we go here at Daytona Tamworth. Just out in front, we've got the leader holding the position going into turn 3 there. To head round the corner, we've got a three-way battle going into turn 4. He's holding his line just out in front. He makes the move second into third, but just can't manage it. We've got first place holding that line there. There's a little bit of a battle starting to happen for third, fourth, and fifth there. Let's see if anything can happen as we go now into turn 6. A move is made. It just isn't managed to stick there. All the positions have stayed the same, but there's a battle going on for fourth position. 3 carts go into one corner, just can't manage to do it there. And we've got a move made by the driver in blue there. Driver with the orange helmet's diving down the inside. Let's see if he can make that position stick. It's come around the final corner. The top 3 positions are starting to have a squirm as we're coming into turn 11 here. As we go to turn 12, we still have the leader of Archibald in front. And let's see what the timing screen is at the end of lap 1. So your order at the end of lap 1 there is Daniel, Freddie, Julia, Nihal, Jack, Alfie, Archie, Zach, Aston, Oliver, Sam, Finn, Louis and Blake. All positions still seem to be staying the same at the front of the grid. All 3 drivers staying very close together. There starts to be a bit of a gap forming with the first place driver, but second, third and fourth are closing in on each other. Starting to have a scrap, so let's see if the driver out front can start to pull away as he's come through his final corners, but the second place driver is closing in and making that gap a hell of a lot smaller as we're coming into the turn 12 here. And third place tries to make a move on second, but just can't manage to do it. It goes at turn 1, can't manage to make it there, but as we head across the line again, we've got Daniel, Freddie, Julia, Jack, Archie managed to make a move in that last one, Nihal, Alfie, Aston, Zach, Oliver, Sam Mackinson, Finn, Louis, then Blake. And an overtake has just been made down into turn 5 there. But they're going to come back into turn 6. We just can't manage to do it there. That's the top 3 drivers still battling out there. That gap that first place had is no longer there, and it's closing back down again as we're coming round into turn 10 here. That gap for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's all so close. They are only separated by less than a second all the way down to 6th place there. We're coming to turn 12. They still managed to hold that position, but it does go yellow. We've got a cart that has gone off somewhere, and it is a full course yellow, so all the carts have to drop down to half race speed, and it's essentially a safety car as down at turn 3 we've got a driver off. I'm not quite sure who that is just yet, but we'll find out in just a minute. I believe the driver in the wall there is Blake Hudson. Hopefully we can get on the wall and hopefully the driver's all okay. But right now, all the drivers are going to start backing up into a safety car formation. It's full course yellows, which means half race speed. All these gaps need to close up before we can go back to green. The driver down in turn 3 seems to be all good. He's out the car. It's still full course yellow though, so it's going to be a while until we get back going again. Right, the gaps have all now closed, and they've managed to get the car back out of the wall over there. So we'll see how long it's going to be till we get this race going again. It's going across the grass right now over at turn 3 and making it to a safe way. I believe the driver has retired from the race, so they're making their way back to the pit lane. But all the karts have now bunched back up. The marshals are getting back into position. It's still a full course yellow as it stands right now, and your leader Daniel is holding the fort, setting the pace for the rest of the karts. At any point, this track is going to go back to green now. Will he be able to hold his nerve as he comes round turn 12 here? It's still a full course yellow. They're not bunched up enough, so it's going to be another lap around the track up until these karts have bunched up here. And the lights go green and we go racing once again. The driver in fourth, Freddie, has gone to make a move down at turn 3 now. I believe he managed to get it as we head into the first corner there. And I do believe that Daniel has also lost that position out in front, and Julia has managed to make that overtake up into first place. There is a little bit of a gap forming, and the driver in second place has got the hands in the air. Daniel does not seem too happy about that overtake down at turn 4 there, but he's got a chance to get it back here. He's closing that gap. You can see the gap closing ever so slightly, but right behind him in third, fourth and fifth, there's the scrap starting to happen here as fifth place makes a dive down the inside there. Just doesn't manage to make it stick, but they're able to keep it tied to that bumper there. Driver in second place, Daniel, is fuming. Hands are thrown in the air, but if he keeps to that bumper, he might be able to get it back as they head round into turn 1. There's 5 minutes left of this race. He's going to be right in the slipstream as he heads down through turn 2 and then down into turn 3. As they come out of turn 3, he's going to be right on the bumper of the driver in first place, Julia. And as they come down into turn 4, there is a driver that has just gone off. I believe that is Jack or Freddie over there that went way too wide on the exit of turn 3. And there's more scraps happening further down the grid with Mackinson struggling to get round these drivers here. As we head now into turn 6, Sam Magson's going for an overtake at the back of the grid there. He's trying to hang it round the outside. He just doesn't manage to do it, but he's keeping his nose in there, and Zach defends off the driver just behind him. As we're heading round now into turn 9 and turn 10, your lead driver is still Julia, and she's managed to maintain that gap of 0.315. Daniel is struggling to close that gap. We'll see when he come across the line now if he's managed to make any more gains on Julia as they cross the line. He's lost about 0.3 seconds on Julia there. So it's now a 0.6 gap between Daniel and Julia and a 0.9 gap between Jack and Daniel. Your order goes as follows: Julia, Daniel, Jack, Archie, Freddie, Aston, Nihal, Oliver, Zach, Finn, Sam Mackinson, Louis and Blake Hutton.
Thank you very much. I'm Matthew Bolden. I'll be taking over this broadcast while Josh goes and gets ready for his next race. So your race leader at the moment, Julia Stankowiak from Daniel Varlan, Jack Redfern, Archie Bullard, Alfie Shrub, Freddie Burden, Aston Lupton, Nihal Joye, Oliver Coe, Zach Hassan, Finn Ion, Sam Mackinson, Louis Canlett, and our unfortunate retiree Blake Hutton. So it is Stankowiak who leads the race from Daniel Varlan, as Archie Bullard, the man making the moves, our championship leader, has found himself in third place, with Daniel Varlan spinning out of the top 3 down to 10th. An unfortunate error there at the final corner, but it's Stankowiak who leads the way from Redfern and Bullard, who have quite the gap over Alfie Shrub. I believe over the line it was just over 2 seconds, and those 3 are going to be looking to ease away into the final moments of this race so they can fight amongst themselves for the podium positions. But it's Archie Bullard who's been making his way through the pack, setting the pace. Both him and Jack Redfern, the only 2 drivers in the grid to dip below the 56-second mark. If you're unfamiliar with Daytona Tamworth, that is lightning pace. And yes, it is Jack Redfern who has closed right up to the back of Julia Stankowiak. He is going to be looking for a move in the dying moments, and Archie Bullard is going to be rubbing his hands together. He has gone from the mid-pack up to the podium. He's setting the pace, and now you can see him employing human DRS down the back straight towards the terrifying turn 3, where of course Blake Hutton met his demise, and they make their way through into the undulating middle sector of this track. It is quite incredible, the bumps and G-forces you feel as you drive these absolutely ridiculous Daytona D-Max GT karts. I'll tell you, they are unlike 99% of cars you can drive in Britain. So Stankowiak leads the way from Redfern, who is gaining, and Archie Bullard gaining on him, but they're easing away from Alfie Shrub. That gap now sits well over 3 seconds, and now Archie, pardon me, is gaining, rise on Jack Redfern. He's all over his back bumper. Will he look for a move into the final corner? No, thinks better of it. Bit of contact on the exit. This is classic from Archie. He likes to get aggressive. He likes to put his opponents under pressure, make them think twice about moving forward, instead focusing on him. That's where he likes the attention on him. As we make our way into turn 3, with Stankowiak maybe thinking that's just won the race for her. If Archie gets distracted getting into P2, then she can slip away and get that race win. And just as I'm talking, Alfie Shrub is enjoying quite a pleasant afternoon drive in 4th place, untroubled in front and behind from Freddie Burden, just a little bit behind him, with Aston Lupton, Nihal Joye and Oliver Coe in a little bit of a scrap in the mid-pack, but nothing doing at the moment. Nobody making any immediate moves. We're kind of just waiting for the correct moment. It's all about putting your opponent out of position, waiting for them to go into a corner a little bit too hot. These karts can be quite hard to drive. They certainly do wonders to your grip strength over a period of time. They're very difficult to handle, but it is Stankowiak who has been caught up a little bit by Jack Redfern. We'll see these lap times over the line. It is a 55.5 from Archie Bullard, 55.6, as Julia was maybe thinking she was setting some lightning pace with the 55.8, but no. The two behind her have better ideas, as Archie Bullard sticks a nose down the inside into turn 4. Will Redfern be able to hold it around the outside? Yes, he has the inside line now for turn 5, and he maintains 2nd position. But Bullard getting interested as we are approaching the final laps of the race with just under 90 seconds remaining. And Stankowiak, even with the two behind fighting, she isn't able to pull away. That just shows the pace of the two karts behind her. No matter what she does, no matter what they do, they're going to be glued together as we approach 0 hour here in the first junior race. But it's Alfie Shrub there now with over 3 second gap, and I mean, he's just watching the top 3 disappear into an alternate dimension. As we now have confirmation, this is going to be the last lap, the last opportunity for Alfie Bullard to snatch 2nd place away from Jack Redfern and maybe even a win. Our championship leader is looking for 2nd place on the hunt here. Jack Redfern covers the entrance to turn 4. He's going to have to do the same thing with turn 5. Archie Bullard thinks better of it, takes the outside line, cuts back, but no, it's not a good exit. Now it's Redfern's turn to attack. Right on the back bumper of Stankowiak as they head into the final sector of this race. We are approaching the end of this first junior lap. How exciting this action has been. Archie Bullard charging through the field, but he isn't able to make it any further than 3rd place, barring a miracle ascend. Oh, and Redfern gives him the room. Is he going to try and hang around the outside? Yes, but it's Archie Bullard making the move after I said he couldn't. But do not count the championship leader out. He finishes 2nd behind Julia Stankowiak, who wins the first junior race here at Daytona Tamworth. Superb performance and insane pace from the top 3. Wow, action right to the very last there, as Alfie Shrub finishes 4th from Freddie Burden, Aston Lupton, Nihal Joye, Oliver Coe, Daniel Varlan. Unfortunate to have made contact with his rivals and finishing down in 9th from what was looking like a very promising result. Zach Hassan in 10th from Sam Matkinson, Finn Ions, Louis Canlett, and unfortunately our retiree Blake Hutton. I hope he's doing okay. I think he is, although he did have to retire after a quick off at turn 3.